Hello there, welcome to my channel. We will help you improve your English speaking. This lesson is about IELTS speaking part 1. As you can remember, we were learning question types of part 1 speaking. If you are new in my channel, you can watch other videos about question types in the playlist called IELTS speaking part 1. So today we will learn about yes and no question type, have to answer, summary of yes/no questions, and sample questions for practice. In speaking exam, you may be asked such questions which require yes and no. For instance, is healthy eating important? Or do you think it's important to play sports? Do you physical exercise? Here, what do most candidates do? Of course, they say yes or no, then give detailed information. This is so true, but their answer has a simple grammar structure and lack of linking phrases, so it may affect on their score. As for have to answer in a better way, you can be in a balanced idea. I mean to answer both yes and no, to give more complexible ideas. Here I'll give you a ready structure for your answer. First of all, as usual, we should start with an opening phrase. Well, in actual fact, if I think about it, I get that in many ways. Okay, well, in reality, I suppose that to some extent. Alright, I guess that on the one hand. Well, certainly in some ways. Then you can give your first statement using a linking structure. Especially when you consider that, particularly if you think about the point that, especially with regard to the point that, and this is definitely the case with. After giving your yes statement, you can move to your no statement using a linking phrase. But you also have to understand that. Even so, you could also say that. At the same time, you could say that. To summarize, you can end your answer using one of the following phrases. So, all in all, I guess my answer would have to be yes and no. So, on the whole, I suppose the answer has to be yes and no. So, all things considered, I guess the answer is both yes and no. So, in the main, I suppose the answer is probably yes and no. And this is a full structure. Is education free in your country? Let's practice the structure answering this question together. So, what do you think? Education is free or you have to pay in your country? Well, as for me, education is usually free at schools, colleges in my country. But if you want to get extra knowledge or you want to study at private schools or specialized ones, you have to pay. Let's give these ideas with the structure above. Firstly, begin with an opening phrase, and I'll choose this one. Alright, I guess that on the one hand, people usually don't pay for education. Here we will add more explanation with one of these linking structures. Especially when you consider schools. All public ones are free. We gave our yes statement and now we will move to no statement. Let's choose a linking phrase to let the examiner we are reaching our no opinion, and I will pick this one. At the same time, you could say that there are private or specialized schools that people have to pay a sum of money to get knowledge. To summarize, let's pick one of the phrases below. So, all in all, my answer would have to be yes and no. And the answer is ready. I'll read the full answer again. Alright, I guess that on the one hand, people usually don't pay for education. Especially when you consider schools. All public ones are free. At the same time, you could say that there are private or specialized schools that people have to pay a sum of money to get knowledge. So all in all, my answer would have to be yes and no. If we conclude yes-no question type, first of all, pay attention to the question and make sure that you can answer both yes and no or only yes or no. Let's compare these questions. Can you play a musical instrument? Is healthy eating important? For example, in the first question, you cannot say both yes and no answer. In this case, you can be only in one state, whether yes or no. In the second one, you could say, although healthy eating is crucial, it is sometimes okay to consume junk food. As a home task, I'm going to give you some questions. Identify that you can be in a balanced idea, I mean yes and no, or only in a one side. Then try to answer them using the structure we have learned today. Is public transport expensive in your country? Do you think that it's important to spend time alone? Is fast food popular in your country? Do people in your country often keep pets? Next time we will talk about would questions. Until then, I'll say to you goodbye.